From Central Dauphin High School, ABC 27 Sports and Advanced Hoops presents high school basketball live. Tonight, it's a mid-pen matchup as Central Dauphin hosts Redland, presented by Arlington Orthopedics. Hi again, everybody. I'm Greg Mace, together with Advanced Hoops Director Charlie Fortney and Mark Hall. Charlie, we'll start with you. These are two teams that finished second in their respective divisions. Central Dauphin has come off a couple of tough losses. Tonight, they face Redland.
Well, Coach Comfort's excited about the practice they had this week. It was a great practice, and this is a great opportunity against a very good team to get their team going into district playoffs. These two teams could possibly meet again, but tonight's the night.
All right, I got a chance to see the Redland Cedar Club matchup down at Redland. It was a great atmosphere, a very emotional matchup, particularly for Redland because they came up with a big win.
Well, they had a big loss against Hershey. They needed a pick-me-up, just like CD needs one tonight. Redland wants to keep that going, and they need to if they're going to reach some of their goals this year to go on and possibly win a district title.
All right, Mark Hall, we talk about tradition. You saw a lot of tradition when you played at Susquehanna Township many years ago. Let's talk about Redland because they've have a lot of tradition both on and off the court.
Oh, Greg, we've seen the enthusiasm from the Redland fans all season long. I mean, the passion is so evident. And that was really on display and really appreciated on Monday night, senior night at Redland. And let's just show you some of that video from that very emotional evening. Senior Steve Zach was honored for getting his 1,000th career point on Friday night against Hershey in a game that we televised on ABC 27.3. And Steve takes the ball and rightfully gives it to his mom, Donna. As you can see, that was a very special moment. And here's another neat moment. Redland coach Scott Slayton honors the senior captain of the Red Sea, those amazing fans. And he gets the Patriots number 6 jersey for the 6th man, and he celebrates with his fellow Red Sea members. And Greg, we can imagine the Red Sea is going to be very loud tonight in this game here against Central Dauphin. We think that they may actually have an impact on the game, but we'll have to find out and wait and see.
We got some of the Central Dauphin fans behind us. A junior varsity game wrapping up right now. All right, Charlie, let's get back to the matchup here. Big men in this matchup. As always, Devin Thomas going to face a couple of big guys for Redland.
Well, Devin Thomas is a big guy himself, but let's not underestimate Sade Issa and John Schnars, who were both players of the game in our high school basketball live against CDs. Those two guys are up for the task to try to neutralize Gary. I think it's going to be a war inside, and it's going to be fun to watch.
And we'll get to see Steve Zach as well, scored his 1,000th point the other night here on ABC 27, and obviously tonight he'll be another big impact.
Well, Steve's doing the great leadership, senior, great games, trying to help Redland end this season on a great note. Just a great kid, worked hard, has had a great career at Redland. I'm happy for him.
All right, opening tip-off coming up. It's Redland and Central Dauphin, and it's next here on ABC 27.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it's just a beautiful thing.
To play at a championship level requires a level of discipline few ever achieve. You prepare, you focus, and make a commitment to excellence. That's Hoffman Ford. #1 in sales and in service. Because the customer is #1. Choose from over 400 vehicles in stock. Plus, we're your Roush performance dealer. Bigger selection, better deals. Hoffman Ford.
Back live for our final regular season basketball game of the year, High School Basketball Live, presented by Arlington Orthopedics. Great facility here at Central Dauphin. First time here for us this year. We've got a lot of great fans. The Central Dauphin fans you'll see all in white. And there you see off in the top of the screen there, the traveling section of the Red Sea, and we'll hear from them tonight as well. They are rooting for Redland. All right, standing by with Mark Hall is Central Dauphin coach Jay Crozier. Mark?
Coach, big game tonight against Redland. Talk about the importance.
Yeah, I think it's a good predictor to what we're going to be doing in the future here. We've got a district games coming up. Obviously, it's not a league game because our Commonwealth's over with, but it's a nice indicator of the teams we're going to play and how good we are going into districts. So.
Well, you talked about an indicator, Coach. You guys have lost 2 out of the last 3. Where do you think your team is right now?
I think that just like all high school kids, we got a little complacent. We got a little bit happy with where we were at, and we got caught. And I think now we had a very good practice yesterday, and the kids starting to understand that we need to get back to where we were focus-wise. So.
Well, you're very familiar with Redland, and you're also very familiar with the fact that they're very big up front. How do you deal with that? How do your kids approach that?
Well, we played them in the summer a couple times, and you still got to be strong. You got to take it to them. For the most part, this year we're pretty good at getting to the basket, and we're getting to the foul line. That's one of our keys to games. Is if we can get to the foul line more than the other guys, we've got a shot at winning. And we've done that in the majority of our games, except the last couple. So we still got to be aggressive. Can't be afraid of them. And you got to respect the hype, but you still got to play hard and go take it right at them.
All right, Coach, thank you very much and good luck.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Greg, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you. We're going to hear from Scott Slayton coming up. Both of these teams, as we said, are kind of biting right now for district playoff seeding coming into this game. Redland was in the middle of the pack, as was Central Dauphin. The Patriots are 16-9. Central Dauphin is 17-4. Both teams, no matter what happens, going to get a 2-week break after this game. We'll talk with Redland coach Scott Slayton when we come back. High School Basketball Live on ABC 27 continues from Central Dauphin.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Are color copies really 10 cents?
Yeah, 10 cents.
It's easy. Call Fortney Printing. They punch in the order, copies get made, quickly put in boxes. Fortney Printing delivers on time.
Wow! Only 10 cents.
Having been to Arlington Orthopedics several times over the past roughly 15 years, I have found them to be very caring.
For 15 or 20 years, I've dealt with sciatic nerve pain down both legs. Kind of figured I was going to have that all my life.
Because of crippling arthritis, I no longer could hold on to things.
We went through this disc fusion surgery. It's just changed my whole life.
The pain is virtually gone, and he fully expects me to return to 100%.
Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
My personal congratulations to Advanced Hoops alumni Allison Daly of St. Francis University and Alfonso Dawson of Delaware University. Daly and Dawson are Select Medical Student Spotlight, making history, scoring 1,000 points for their college career.
Hank and Jim of Weaver Financial Services have been serving families and businesses in central Pennsylvania for the past 40 years. Life insurance, financial services, and products, call Hank or Jim. They're the nicest guys around. Displays and Graphics, 5700 Lingelstown Road in Harrisburg, your one-stop shop, offering full-color banners, indoor and outdoor signage, banner stands, trade show displays, and plaques. Visit displaysandgraphicsinc.com. Exceeding expectations is our goal.
Greg Mays, Charlie Fortney, Mark Hall back, ABC 27 High School Basketball Live. Charlie, let's talk a little bit about the district playoffs coming up, because this is an important day for district playoffs. This is it in terms of points and seedings. There's a reason we're playing this game on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, when we were scheduling this as the last game, regular season game on High School Basketball Live, both schools are very concerned that this game counted toward the district points. That's why it was moved from originally Thursday the 10th to the 9th. But both teams want to win this game. They want their power points to give them the best seed possible. This is a game of momentum, Greg. Neither team wants to go into that week-and-a-half playoff without a win and without the momentum going into District Quad A.
There are 20 teams that will make the playoffs from Quad A, and there's, in a sense, a playoff play-in game kind of in the first round where you take 13 through 20. But this year, those top seeds 1 through 8, they're going to get home court advantage in the opening round, which is something different.
Well, it makes the scheduling a lot easier for Pete Fackler, Wendell Hauer of the PIAA. It makes their life easier. But the bottom line is this year, allowing 20 teams in is a good idea, because 20 could win this whole thing. There's a lot of parity in Quad A. You just see it when Carlisle beat CD the other night. You know, it's just, you know, and they're a team that may not even get in at this point. So it's definitely anybody could knock anybody off on any given night. So it's a good call by the PIAA to allow 20 teams to have a shot at it.
And as we look at the top 24 teams in the Quad A rankings, these are all teams with winning records. So if you look at the balance here, there are more teams with winning records than losing records. And I know a lot of times you'll see teams right on the bubble that a lot of times in some brackets don't even have a winning record. So you look at Carlisle, they're down in the 23rd spot, the top 20. So right now Muhlenberg would be in. But we'll see what happens tonight. This is not a regular night. There's not a full slate of action for mid-Penn teams. This changed obviously a little bit last night. These are through February the 7th. But there's Hershey right there at 16.
Yeah, and you're looking at Hershey. I mean, they beat Redland twice, and Redland's at seed number 6 here. So it's like, again, it points to, you know, any team could beat any team on any given night in that top 16 and possibly even 20.
All right, we talked about this being a big game for Redland. Mark Hall is standing by with their coach, Scott Slayton. Mark?
Well, Coach, talk about the importance of this game. What are you trying to get out of tonight's game against Central Dauphin?
Well, we want to keep winning. I mean, we're coming off a very emotional game the other night against Cedar Cliff. One of our emphasis all year has been, you know, finish the quarter, finish the game. We want to finish our regular season strong. You know, you certainly don't want to go into district playoffs with a 2-week layoff and on a loss. You know, so we want to continue playing well. We think we've been doing a lot of good things lately. You know, we had a little setback last Friday night over at Hershey, but other than that, you know, we think we're playing well, so we certainly want to continue to do that.
Well, where do you think your team is right now? You talked about that emotional loss against Hershey, but you also talked about that big win against Cedar Cliff. Do you kind of have a sense of where your team is right now emotionally?
Emotionally, we're on a high. I mean, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves, and our kids are resilient. I mean, that was a tough loss for us against Hershey. Very disappointed that we didn't get the opportunity to play for the championship in the final game, to be able to defend our crown. But, you know, the Cedar Cliff Redland game brings emotion in itself to an entirely different level. And our kids were determined. We felt we had a score to settle, and we certainly wanted to go out there and make a statement. You know, they're a hot team, and they were coming in 12 straight games, winning and playing well, and kind of the vogue team right at the moment. And we wanted to be able to send a message saying, you know what, we haven't gone anywhere. And certainly having to pull ourselves up after that emotional loss. I can't think of a more emotional win than the way that we had it against the team that we had it on senior night in a packed house. It was a great high school basketball game and a great emotional win for us.
Well, Coach, what are your impressions of Central Dauphin, and how do you guard against a potential emotional letdown?
I don't think the letdown's going to be a problem. I mean, I think we're mentally focused enough, and we showed that yesterday in practice where we came in and you know, we certainly celebrated the victory, but we also reminded them, and the kids kind of picked up on the message that our business isn't over yet. Central Dauphin, a very physical team, very strong team. With a lot of good shooters. I mean, they certainly have those two good big guys inside that we're going to have to be able to contest with, and a different kind of strong. I mean, we've always had kids that'll bang around, but these are skilled kids that can bang around as well, and they surround them with shooters. So our guards are, it's not just going to be Steve against Evan. It's not just going to be those two guys banging against their guards against our guards, and our guards are going to have to do a very good job of being able to get out and contest the three, much better than we did against Finagle the other night at Hershey.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, Greg.
All right, thanks, Mark. Getting set for the opening tip-off. It's Redland Central Dauphin next here on ABC 27.
To be sure. Faulkner Toyota on Paxton Street across from the Harrisburg Mall invites you to check out our extensive assortment of new and used vehicles. Consider the excitement of driving the RAV4 or the functionality of our top-rated Sienna minivan. Test drive the super fuel-efficient Prius Hybrid along with our Camrys, Corollas, Tacoma pickups, as well as a full selection of Scions. You'll find security, design, comfort, and a price that will fit your own lifestyle. Call or visit us at faulknertoyota.net.
What game will you bring? Your B game or C? Tomorrow's performance depends on today's recovery. Rebuild. Recharge. Reclaim your A game. Regen, intelligent recovery.
Fortney Construction is on the move, building additions, renovations, and Pella certified for window and door replacements with a quality of work that the customer can count on. Call today. Ask about solar and energy solutions, as well as our solar module installation. You can save money on electric, and the electric company will send you cash for the solar energy your panels generate.
Integrity, reliability, and experience is what Fortney Construction's all about, and it's a great name.
At Lou Panetti, Rogliano, and Hockenberry Family Dentistry, you will receive patient care with a smile, along with comprehensive dental treatment and technologically advanced equipment to meet all your family needs.
I think what you'll find here, if you look around the office, is a very, very comfortable atmosphere.
The quality of care that the doctors give to our patients is absolutely phenomenal.
Our service provides a gentle approach from doctors who care.
Turner Kia in Harrisburg has your family covered. Need room to transport the kids? Check out the all-new Kia Sorento or Sedona van. The reliable and affordable Kia Soul and Forte are perfect for college students. And Turner Kia has an incredible selection of certified used vehicles for drivers of all ages. All new and certified used Kias come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And with Turner's exclusive TLC, you know you'll be taken care of. As Albert says, Turner is the smart choice for your next vehicle. Turner Kia, Chambers Hill Road, Harrisburg.
Mark Hall back here at Central Dauphin High School. Charlie, we talked about momentum for both of these teams. Tough loss for Cedar Cliff up against Redland. Redland is certainly kind of on a roll. We talked about Central Dauphin. We heard Jay Crozier say they had their best practice, he thought, in 2 years the other day. So valuable momentum for both of these teams. Got to react here quickly. I would agree with Scott Slayton what he said in the interview with Mark, that these guys, this would not be a letdown game at all for Redland. You're playing a big team here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, you know, you got to play with goals in mind, and this Redland team has had a goal to win that district championship, and I don't think Steve Zach, the senior leader, or Nick Diller, the senior leader, is going to allow this team to get off focus on that. If CD wins this game tonight, they're going to win this game by earning it.
You just saw Nick Diller being introduced, and in our last basketball game, he wore number 14. On senior night at Redland High School, Scott Slayton gave him the number 3. Of course, that was worn by Jermaine Marshall. And he said only appropriately would one other guy now wear that number, and that was Nick Diller. I was just blown away, and I told Scott this before. he does an unbelievable job with senior night. And I'm watching this, and I thought, well, this is very nice. They're going to have each of the seniors come out, and he talked about each of them. He then gave the that number 6 jersey to the Red Sea captain, the senior captain, James Tresco. He has just built a great tradition and a lot of personality with Scott, and he's given a lot of pride to these kids. And I was really impressed with what they did on Monday night at Redland High School.
Well, and against a very good Cedar Cliff basketball team who had won 12 in a row. But, you know, fasten your seatbelts. This may be the last game of the regular season for these two ball clubs, but this may be one of the toughest games each of them play. And we're seeing a battle of 3 Division I big men in this game. And it's one of the reasons why we scheduled this game.
And there's one of the top ones right there. You're going to see him a lot tonight, Devin Thomas, who is the leading scorer for Central Dauphin. All right, everyone on their feet here at Central Dauphin High School as we get set for the playing of our national anthem. Deck all full tonight here at Central Dauphin High School. And Charlie, we check out our Penn National keys to the game tonight.
Well, for Redland, they need a big game from the three-point line. And Zingari needs to give a big game to help Zach. Central Dauphin needs a big game from Devin Thomas. And they also need to use their bench depth to their advantage tonight.
Our officials tonight, Mid-Penn, Bob Butts, Joe Spengler, Bob Parambo. Always good to have our efficient, very well-trained Mid-Penn officials tonight. Redland is in the road blue uniforms, red numerals, red trim. And they get set for Central Dauphin to come out in the home white, Rams and Patriots. This is our final regular season game of the year, but we've got playoffs again this year. We got the Mid-Penn playoffs coming up, which we'll talk about next Thursday night, a week from Thursday over at Cumberland Valley. And then Charlie and I will be at Giant Center on a Saturday morning to bring you the last 2 district championships. So looking forward to doing the games from the Giant Center. Here we go, opening tip. And it is Devin Thomas and Steve Zach to jump center. Patriots control.
It looks like Steve Zach didn't even have to jump. He's just, that 7-foot or 6'11" wingspan is just, you know, it's hard to explain it to a fan unless you're here watching it live. It's just a, you know, big kid, biggest kid we've seen in a while in this area. I can remember the days of Sean Muto, 6'11", played at NC State, or St. John's.
St. John's, yeah. All right, Thomas misses his first.
It looks like Zingari and Thomas exchanged the favors of missing layups, but that's, I think, pregame jitters.
Last regular season game for both these teams. And then they get a 2-week break. There's Diller behind the back. Antonelli. Thomas clears the boards.
Well, the Antonelli brothers are 73% of the three-point shooting for Redland, so they're going to fire them away there. Dominic was a little off on that one, that's for sure.
Laird, like Seafeld.
Both teams coming out in a zone trying to neutralize the big guys.
First 2 of the game, it belongs to Devin Thomas.
Well, both brother and sister there. Alyssa's a lefty. You know, Devin's a lefty. What's the chances of that, Greg? Two lefties in the same family.
Yeah, we've talked about Alyssa Thomas, who is having just an unbelievable freshman year at the University of Maryland. Zengari gets the roll, first two for Redland.
Well, it looks like Redland is determined to get the ball in the post, try to establish that low post presence. Devin Thomas is going to have to be careful just not to get in foul trouble and stay in this ball game, because they're going to need him. They're going to need him for the entire game, because when you lose Devin, you don't have the size to match up with Zengari and Zach. They're going to, like I said, need him for the entire ball game.
Less than a minute gone by, and Central Dauphin pressing in the backcourt lightly.
Changing it up, trying to play the full court and take advantage of the fact that Redland doesn't really go too deep in the bench.
Antonelli. Zach got the rebound and fouled.
I'll tell you what, Coach Crozier doesn't like that, because he knows his big guy can't get in foul trouble. And that was a ticky-tack. It wasn't, to start the game.
First two for Zach.
I think Coach Crozier would rather seen Devin Thomas's fouls be earned in a game like this and not a bump.
Nick Laird trying to go low, and he does, and now he's reaching.
Yeah, he's returning the favor there, because that's just a bump. I think the refs like to establish early to let these guys know that they need to play a clean game of basketball. Just don't want to see any of these guys out of the game for fouls. I guess I'm a fan sitting here while I'm commentating.
Paid to see Devin Thomas. Zengari cleared it. Antonelli is traveling.
Yeah. Both, refs seem to be consistent on both ends. They're establishing the traveling call and establishing that they're in charge on the inside.
4-2 early going. High school basketball live here on ABC 27. Central Dauphin in the home white. Redland forced the turnover.
And this is smart. Central Dauphin making Redland dribble all 84 feet of this court. It's only going to pay off for him here as the game wears on. Make number 3 Nick Diller, have to use every ounce of his energy to get that ball up for his teammates.
By Seafeld, but he forced the turnover and got it out to Thomas. Back inside of Thomas again. Clean block. Redland clears it out.
That's what happens when you have, Steve Zach has a long wingspan. I'd like to know what his wingspan's like. I mean, we know how tall he is, or I think we know how tall he is. But it'd be nice to know what his wingspan is, because he has extra long arms, Craig.
I know he's got 4 of the early 6 points and the 6'2" Redland advantage. It's Laird.
CD has some guys that can shoot the ball here. There's John Snars.
Candid for 3.
I guess I spoke at the right time, but they can get it going, so that's something Redland's going to have to keep track of. They got a little bit of everything.
Redland wants to take the timeout, and we will too. 3:56 left, first quarter, 6-5 Redland.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Are color copies really 10 cents?
Yeah, 10 cents.
It's easy. Call Fortney Printing. They punch in the order, copies get made, quickly put in boxes. Fortney Printing delivers on time.
Wow, only 10 cents.
5, our early score. Central Dauphin on top.
Well, the timeout came from not being able to get the ball in. Coach Slayton gives these seniors and captains the freedom to do that, so rather than create a turnover. But they're going to have to get a consistent. They're going to have to get a consistent game plan against this changing of defenses. Coach Crocher's doing a good job of zone on one hand, full court press on another, to keep Redland guessing.
Zayed Issa picks up the foul.
Well, Greg got a great chance to talk to Zay before the game. He was our player of the game in the CD East game. Great chance to talk to him about the challenge of playing against Mike Zingari, and he was up for it. You know, Mike Zingari gives, you know, he's given up about, you know, 7, 8 inches on Zingari, so he's definitely up for the challenge. He's a great athlete, not only on the football field, but he can jump.
Zingari's got 4 of the opening 8.
And he needs to have a big night. Steve Zach's been carrying this team offensively the last 3 games.
Seefeld. Zach with a rebound, got it out to Diller.
Well, that outlet pass was about 50 feet, and that's why LaSalle's liking Steve Zach. He's able to start the fast break with the over-the-head pass.
Zingari using the glass. Thomas got the rebound. 5 minutes going by, first quarter. Boy, they're going to Thomas a lot inside. Almost a steal. Little ping pong play there. Antonelli missed the 3.
He's been overshooting these, Antonelli, but Duke's not going to stop shooting. I mean, he's...
Rebound falls for Thomas.
Nice follow-up.
He's got 4 of the opening 7 for the Rams. Zach. Twirling away. Nice play by Schnars.
A great job by Devin Thomas not to pick up a foul, but also defend effectively Steve Zach's shot.
Rebound came to Issa. Travel.
I know Coach Slayton was a little nervous there. Steve was getting ready to pick up a foul there, but his wingspan created a travel.
Brent Lavia, Isaac Rossum into the game for Central Dauphin. Some substitutions for Redland as well. Billy Wilt into the game, along with Brett Niederreiter.
Yes.
We have mispronounced his name on a couple of occasions.
Not anymore, though. Brett has let us know actually how to pronounce that name, and I'll tell you what, we're going to keep it right this game.
Lavia. Foul down the other end. And here is Artie Rao into the game, number 33. We're going to talk about Artie Rao and what he did earlier today off the basketball court. We get a chance during the next stoppage, and we're going to shot a 33 in the white, Artie Rao. Patriots control, they're up 1. Zingari. Mertz got the rebound.
Well, Coach Slayton lets Zingari shoot that, and he can hit that shot. He doesn't mind the big guys taking that as long as they establish themselves in around the post.
Thomas whirling off the glass. Rao almost had the rebound.
Nice move by Thomas, just didn't go.
Diller for 3.
That's a big 3 for Redland, considering Nick Diller really hasn't gotten it going there from 3 this year. But, you know, definitely stepped up on that one. They could get a big game from him outside tonight. They have a real chance of winning this game.
Thomas spins. Call for traveling. Fifth turnover for Central Dauphin already here in the first quarter.
Now this is interesting. You got Devin Thomas taking a quick break here. 18 seconds. We got the two bigs for Redland. I'm curious to see if they go right inside. CD smart to pressure though. Try to make it tough even to get it inside. You got the big man Artie Rao coming in here. The guy you just talked about here, Greg.
Antonelli pushed a little bit, and then it went off Diller's hands.
Wow, that's a big defensive possession for CD, considering Redland was going to get the last shot with the two bigs in. Now Coach Slayton doesn't want to take his chance. He wants Steve Zach on the bench. He doesn't want any extra fouls here on him.
Fourth turnover for Redland in the opening quarter. One shot coming up for the Rams. Mertz. Off balance. End of the quarter. 11-7. Redland on top. End of one. You're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27. Presented by Arlington Orthopedics.
To play at a championship level requires a level of discipline few ever achieve. You prepare, you focus, and make a commitment to excellence. That's Hoffman Ford, #1 in sales and in service, because the customer is #1. Choose from over 400 vehicles in stock. Plus, we're your Roush performance dealer. Bigger selection, better deals. Hoffman Ford.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
We make Carbine simple by knocking down all the hurdles we can. We do what you expect, what's logical, or just plain right. For instance, the live market-driven prices we offer up front are the same everywhere you may choose to shop. Our prices are the same on the internet, by phone, or in the showroom. That's how it should be.
Experience car buying made simple at Bobby Ray Hall on the Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg.
Greg Nice, Charlie Fortney, Mark Hall back with you at Central Dauphin High School, ABC 27's presentation of high school basketball live. Rams in the home white, Redland in the dark. Interesting first quarter.
Yeah, chess game. Both teams, these aren't teams that play each other on a regular basis, and that's why we were excited to do the game. It's a Commonwealth Keystone crossover. It was just a nice. Both teams just kind of feeling each other out. It's like two boxers who've never boxed before. They just want to kind of take it easy first couple rounds. But look for this game to heat up a little here.
The rebounding pretty even. Redland 3 of 7 for their twos, 1 of 5 for their threes. And Central Dauphin now 2 of 11 from the field, 1 of 1 for 3 points. And Diller hits his free throw. He's got 4.
Yeah, Diller's hit the game-winning shot against Cedar Cliff. I mean, he's got to be pumped as a senior. That has to give him some energy going into this stretch. This guy's been there for this program over the last 3 years. I believe that's why Coach Slayton recognized him the way he did, giving him Jermaine Marshall's #3 jersey to finish the season with.
A lot of great presentations. You saw it in our pregame at senior night at Redland. Seafeld trying to get it inside, and there's another foul on Steve Zach.
And that's not smart. I mean, Steve does not need to reach around, and getting a second foul there. He's even in the score here if he's going to be sitting out of the game for CD.
There's Nick Seafeld. He's number 11 controlling. John Schnorrs is 10. Brandon Lavia,
the quarterback on the football team.
His first 2 cuts the lead to 4. Antonelli. Seafeld cleared the board. Schnars missed. Central Dauphin got the offensive rebound.
CD's doing a good job of being patient here. Not used to playing at this pace.
Diller trying to capitalize on the turnover.
That was a way to attack the basket by Nick Diller.
Central Dauphin foul 21, Brandon Lemay, second team's fifth.
So Nick Diller, senior guard. Brandon Levia takes a seat. Ryan Beaver seeing his first action for the Rams.
Nick looks really comfortable tonight, and you know, he's showing it. 3 or 4 from the foul line there, and just comfortable. Made a 3 tonight. He looks really comfortable and in a rhythm.
Seafeld, Schnars. Good perimeter play. Nice passing. Looking for 3 was Beaver. Issa got the board, got it back to Thomas inside. Yes, and it counts.
And that's the rhythm that Zaid Issa wanted to come into this game with. He jumped over Zangari, who's 6'8.5", 6'9", and just to keep that play alive. Coach Slayton's not happy about that because he wants his big man getting that rebound. And then that set up Devin Thomas.
A lot of quick passing perimeter play here for Central Dauphin.
Oh, yeah. Looks Central Dauphin starting to settle in here. It's going to be important for Redland to just keep answering on the other end.
Thomas cuts the lead to 2.
Redland has not been able to get into their traditional high-low with Zangari and Zach. First couple plays of the game, yes, but they have not been able to get into that yet. And that's a credit to Crozier and CD's full court man defense. It's taking so long to bring the ball up the court. It's keeping them from getting in a half court rhythm. Redland's hard to beat with the size advantage in just a half court game.
6th foul against the Rams, almost to the bonus. Antonelli for 3.
Well, Duke's going to keep gunslinging there, and he's going to get him the fall. He's been doing this for a couple years. This kid's built well. Usually draws one of the best players on the other team defensively. And again, the Antonellis account for 73% of Redland's three-point shooting production.
That's his 38th three-pointer of the season. Zach inside. Thomas got the block. Here come the Rams. Got to slow it up. Didn't have numbers.
Now, that's the second time Devin Thomas has had a clean block on Zach. And that's very important that those blocks are clean to keep him in the game and playing really smart around the basket.
Zach got the bucket and the foul.
Well, and that's bound to happen if you play behind, but there's a choice to make there. You play in front, you give up the rebound on the miss. You play behind, you run the risk, and Zach did a good job of using the pump fake. If you're a kid at home and you're playing the post, that pump fake is what you want to use around the basket. The defender, though, needs to stay on the floor, and Devin Thomas left his feet, and he shouldn't have on that one, but it's tempting when that ball is thrown up there.
Steve Zach has 7. Coming up on the halfway point. Redland 6 of 7 from the line. Nice tip. Issa got inside.
Wow, he showed his athleticism. He might be 6'2", but on that play, he was 6'10", or 10 foot.
Diller kicking it out. Zangari.
Well, and that's what makes Mike a hard player to guard. at 6'9", has a perimeter game much like Banis over at Hershey. These are some versatile big guys. Definitely makes it a tough guard.
Beaver missed. Antonelli did not with the board.
It's amazing, Greg. This seems like an even game, but for Redland to be up 9 points, it just seems like the game's even. But they're just, this methodical game just is in Redland's favor right now. CD's gonna have to make a little more happen on the perimeter and in the transition game.
Zingari waited.
Yeah, Zingari's not as comfortable around the post. Well, Crocher's not happy with the defense of his team right now because they're not buckling down in the half-court game, and they play better defense. This is a better ball club than this defensively.
Central Dauphin wants to take a timeout. Redland's up 25-14. Second quarter.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Are color copies really 10 cents?
Yeah, 10 cents.
It's easy. Call Fortney Printing. They punch in the order, copies get made, quickly put in boxes. Fortney Printing delivers on time.
Wow! Only 10 cents.
Greg Mays, Charlie Fortney, Mark Hall will join us at halftime. 25-14. Central Dauphin trailing. 3 minutes left in the half. And a reminder to stick around at halftime. We have the Arlington Orthopedics halftime shootout, always eventful, from NBA three-pointer, chance for somebody to win a $50 gift card from Fulton Bank, and we've only had one person make this year, but we think we have a special shooter tonight.
Well, we got several special shooters tonight. There's several in this lineup tonight. In fact, I'll mention a few names here. We got Butch Huffman in that lineup tonight. We got Tina Thomas, played at Millersville. Lissa Thomas's mom, she can shoot a basketball. You also got Mr. Laird. He's one of my lunchtime basketball buddies over at the Friendship Center. So there's some fans that can win that card tonight.
Speaking of good shooters, Nick Diller leading everybody with 10, and the lead is 27-14.
Well, Redland is getting their keys to the game. They're getting a big guard play here, and then Mike Zingari's having one of his best halves in a while. CD needs to get the ball at more in a good position for Devin Thomas. Niederreiter is giving Devin Thomas some body fits right now while in Steve Zach's absence. Scott Slayton doesn't want Steve Zach to get any more fouls, so we're not going to see him to the second half.
Under 2 left first half. Gary's got 9, and that is 12 in a row for Redland.
Well, you know the scouts are out. You see coaches from all over the area filming this game here tonight. And I don't blame them, because these are two teams, Greg, that could find themselves playing for the Final Four in the district if they can catch a rhythm. In fact, we're doing that Quad A championship and the AAA girls right before, so this should be a great year for playoff basketball. In fact, I'd encourage the fans to plan to be at the Giant Center, not only support District 3. I think that's on Niederreiter. And Gary doesn't need a second foul. Yeah, that is. And Niederreiter's, he's getting his money's worth tonight. I think he has a few fouls already here. That's number 2 on him.
So Zaid Issa goes to the line. Big guys will come back in. Antonelli and Steve Zach back in for the final minute 27.
Well, surprised to see Steve Zach here, but coach is probably definitely thinking of an offensive possession here, taking advantage of the offensive possession.
CD 1 of 3 from the line. Antonelli for three.
Redland is just having one of the best halves they've had all year. 32 points for a team that doesn't even average 60 points a game is tremendous for them. CD's going to have to catch a rhythm here.
Big run for Redland in the second quarter.
That's a little anxious by Diller. Yeah, here's Zach. Slayton doesn't want to push his luck here.
So he'll take a seat. And they will get one shot. Oops.
Oh, that could have got CD going right there in the halftime. That just showed Devin Thomas's athleticism. That was a great pass by Nick Seafield. So, but I know Crozier would have rather had the 2 points right now.
Central Dauphin 5 of 21 now.
The fans would have rather had the dunk,
yes.
you know. And I probably would have rather had the dunk too, to be honest with you. But the coaches want to see that ball go in the basket, and I don't blame them.
Redland likely to hold it for one.
Oh, we haven't talked. There's two freshmen guarding each other right now. These guys have done very well for their respective teams. You know, we got Dominic Antonelli. And we got Brian Laird, actually a sophomore. 2 point guards. They're going to be playing against each other probably for a long time, as long as this crossover game sticks each season.
1-on-1 time for the Patriots, and Nick Diller at the strike.
Nick Diller continues to stay comfortable for Redland. And I'm surprised at this, Craig. I'll be honest with you, very surprised, because CD came out aggressive, full court man. You'd think that would have wore down Redland, but Redland just caught a rhythm. The half-court defense for CD wasn't near as good as their full-court defense. They let up on the other end.
They got a whistle on a foul, looks like on Billy Wilt out front.
Number 12 on Rodney Stern. So checking back in as well for Central Dauphin.
So 6 seconds left here in the first half. CD looking for one. Here's Schnars. Not falling for the Rams.
Oh, this is a good half for Redland. CD's going to have to regroup at halftime.
All right, 33-14 is our score. Mark Hall is with Scott Slayton. Mark.
Coach, you just came off a big emotional win against Cedar Cliff. There was a chance that you guys were going to have a letdown. That's not happening tonight. Talk about what's going good for Redland.
I felt pretty good yesterday at practice that we were going to be able to get past the big win and be able to finish off our regular season. I'm very impressed with the way we came out with the energy that we did tonight.
Talk about what you're going to tell your kids at halftime to keep the momentum going.
I feel like keeping them out here, just keep going through layup lines. I don't want anything to change in the second half.
All right, Coach, good luck. Well, Greg, obviously Redland playing very well tonight. There was a chance of a letdown, but they're playing very tough. That means the Central Dauphin Rams have 16 minutes to get back into this ball game. Let's send it back to you.
33-14 at the half. Charlie and I will be back with a halftime shootout coming up. You're watching High School Basketball Live on ABC 27.
Get ready to start popping with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. It's your favorite Pizza Hut pizza surrounded by 28 tasty cheese-filled bites. You won't be able to stop pulling them, dipping them, and popping them. And right now, a Cheesy Bites pizza with your favorite topping is just $11.99. Plus, add a 2-liter Pepsi and an order of breadsticks for just $5 more. The Cheesy Bites pizza deal won't last long, only $11.99 and only at your Pizza Hut.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
Having been to Arlington Orthopedics several times over the past roughly 15 years, I have found them to be very caring.
For 15 or 20 years, I've dealt with sciatic nerve pain down both legs. Kind of figured I was going to have that all my life.
Because of crippling arthritis, I no longer could hold on to things.
We went through this disc fusion surgery. It's just changed my whole life.
The pain is virtually gone, and he fully expects me to return to 100%.
Ryan and Todd from Hoffman Ford,
Harrisburg's largest volume and only Ford dealer. What does Hoffman Ford mean to you?
Respect, outstanding customer service,
honest communication, superior sales and service staff. Did you know that we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Check us out at hoffmanford.com.
Check out our new and used inventory, look for service specials, make appointments, get a quote, and even apply for credit.
That's right, just another reason why Hoffman Ford is Harrisburg's most powerful name in Fords.
All right, welcome back live here on ABC 27. Greg Mace together with Charlie Fortney. It's time for our Arlington Orthopedic halftime shootout. We've only had one person make this all year long. We've had a lot of close calls. We got some basketball players here tonight, Charlie.
Yeah, and the first one shooting on behalf of Arlington Orthopedics is Dwayne Laird. Let's give it up for Dwayne.
Oh, we got some form here tonight. We're ready.
Well, that's a good start. That's a marker for his partners behind him. And Select Physical Therapy is represented by Tina Thomas.
Another close one.
Okay, and Penn National Insurance is represented by Chad Lavia.
Ooh. Here's a guy who's a player.
Okay, has averaged 22 points a game in a Penn State uniform years ago, representing Huffman Ford, Earl Huffman. Okay, and representing Pizza Hut is a guy I've seen at Pizza Hut before, actually, Greg. Friend of mine, Mike Beaver.
Oh!
Okay. Okay, don't let us down, Kim. I know the pressure's on. This is Kim Salva shooting on behalf of Advanced Tubes.
Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy.
Yeah, Bob Cousy. Okay, don't be disappointed. They're going to share a pizza in the lobby if they'd like, get a Faulkner 5 card, and each of them get a free High School Basketball Live t-shirt. Let's give our fans a round of applause for trying.
Tremendous. Thanks a lot. Earl Hoffman, come on over here, and we're going to talk to a guy who's been a great supporter here of basketball here in Central Pennsylvania and a former Penn State player himself. There's some pretty good form out there. You almost had it, Earl.
Yeah, it's been over a year since I've been on the floor, so I thought that was fairly decent hitting the rim.
Talk a little bit about your involvement in the community. You know, we see your kids over the years have been on TV, your family advertising Hoffman Ford, but I know it's a great treat for you to be involved in high school athletics.
Yeah, we've been that since the day one. We've been in business now almost 60 years. And ever since Dad started the business back in High Spire, he gave driver training cars to High Spire. He painted the football helmets. You know, today we take care of Steel High, Central Dauphin East, Susquehanna, McDevitt, Harrisburg. So that's part of our business. We need to give back to the community that we deal with.
All right, well, thanks for all your support, and good try there. We only had one person make that. That's an NBA three-pointer.
Yeah, that's a hard shot. I mean, I was practicing 3 points. Figuring the high school was where we're going to shoot from, not back at the back at the NBA line. So,
Earl, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Earl Hoffman from Hoffman Ford. All right, now time for our Arlington Orthopedics Up Close and Personal. Here's Charlie with Dr. Scott King talking about hips.
Dr. King, welcome to the show. Like many of the doctors at Arlington, you have a sports background. Yours in particular interests me and my neighbor, and that's you played for the Red Wings. Talk about that experience.
Well, first I played college hockey at University of Maine, which was right in the time where we were building a very strong program, national program. I was a goalie there. And then was drafted actually out of high school in Canada, and got a chance to play 3 years with the Red Wings.
In preparing for this interview, I realized myself that the hip area is such a unique concentration. You're one of the few doctors in this area that deal with this. Would that be accurate to say?
Yeah, there's really only three of us that are doing hip arthroscopy surgery and fixing labor repairs and trying to change the bony shape of the hip to try and prevent future problems and fix the problems that have occurred.
The story that stands out to me the most is regarding hip injury is Bo Jackson. I mean, he was considered the multi-sport pro athlete, and all of a sudden his career ended quickly with a hip injury. What was going on with Bo Jackson? What was he suffering from?
Yeah, he had a little bit different situation. He had a traumatic injury where he had a dislocation of his hip and lost the blood supply to his hip. So he had something called avascular necrosis, where the blood supply was lost, the bone died, and so he had to have a hip replacement.
What's a common injury for just high school athletes or even a younger athlete or student that comes into your office?
There's the classic hip pointers, which is really just bruises. There's certainly many different kinds of muscle pulls and tendon pulls. With adolescent kids, you can get fractures around the hip where it pulls off growth plates. So there are many different injuries. And that really just goes back to having an understanding of the hip and all the mechanics around it, and just a good physical exam and history usually gets you where you want to be.
Is there a difference between male and females when it comes to the way the hips are aligned or the percentage of injuries that happen between the male and the female athlete?
Pincer impingement is what the females tend to get. The hip bends up and pinches the labrum up against the socket and tends to cause the labral tear. Now in a male, they tend to get a bump over the ball side of the hip. And that bump tends to come up and go inside and injure the cartilage that wears out in arthritis.
Thank you for watching Understanding Hip Injuries with Dr. Scott King. For the full interview, go to advancedhoops.com.
To be sure, Faulkner Toyota on Paxton Street across from the Harrisburg Mall invites you to check out our extensive assortment of new and used vehicles. Consider the excitement of driving the RAV4 or the functionality of
What game will you bring? Your B game or C? Tomorrow's performance depends on today's recovery. Rebuild. Recharge. Reclaim your A game. Regen, intelligent recovery.
Fortney, and let's go over to Mark Hall, who's with Jay Crozier. Mark?
Well, Coach, you're down 19.5. What did you tell your kids during the break?
We got to play better. Got to loosen up and play better. I mean, we didn't shoot the ball well again, and you know, we just gotta play better than we did. It's not the end of the world, but we got to come out and play better than we just did. And we got to compete. That's what scares me. Is we didn't compete at the end there. We started getting our head down. It's all right. It's a game right now.
It seemed like there was a lid on the basket, but how did you tell your kids, or what do you tell your kids to get back into this game? Because it can't happen on one shot.
No, got to stay aggressive. Got to keep attacking. Got to get to the free throw line, which we didn't get to very much, and got to convert them when we do get there. So you just got to stay patient. Got to chip away. Got to chip away.
Coach, thank you very much.
Yep,
Good luck in
thank
the
you.
second half.
Appreciate it.
Well, Greg, obviously Central Dauphin has a hill to climb, and they have to do it at one defensive stop at a time. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Charlie, what do you think it's going to take for CD to get back in this game?
Well, I think they have to step up and compete. It didn't seem like all 5 players that's playing on the court for CD are on the same page with competing. Devin Thomas came out pretty strong, did some really good things. It almost seems like it got into a Redland style game pretty early, got settled in the half court. The 2 big guys for Redland are just throwing CD off, and I don't think they anticipated it would quite like that. And Redland's doing all the things they needed to do. They're getting a big game from their guards. Nick Diller's leading greatly. Zangary's having a great half. CD needs to put it all back together, and I think they could get back in this game.
Well, we looked at some of the stats here that Jim Gallagher has given to us, and there's Redland 7-8 from the free throw line. CD is 1 of 3, but here's the 18-0 run that sent the score from 15-14 to 33-14, and that's where we're standing right now.
Yeah, and the defense of CD needs to pick up. And they're starting out in a man-to-man face-guarding defense. They need to do more than that. They need to get stops, and they also need to score on the other end.
Here's Antonelli. Redland with a great run. Not getting the bounce. Here's Laird, clear the boards. And a foul underneath.
Well, and here's CD coming out aggressive on offense. Got to stop on the other end. They need to do this for an entire half to have a chance. But they definitely started out the way they need to. Coach Crozier certainly has pumped them up at halftime. You can tell.
Laird gets his first point of the game.
Well, he's making more shots than his dad did at halftime in the halftime shootout, that's for sure.
You watch the foul and the replay on the foul. Not a basketball. I got some basketball players out there. Butch said, he told me afterwards, he goes, you can't make that. That's an NBA three-pointer. What are you doing to me, Charlie?
Well, that NBA three-pointer is deceiving. I had a chance to have to play with that line when I played in the CBA. That's 4 legit feet past the college line. And until you've actually done that, and actually played in games where you had to shoot it, you don't realize how tough that really is.
So 1 possession at a time here for Central Dauphin. You get yourself in this position, don't go to everyone with a score, just play it like that. Nick Seefeld, his first 2. Nice passing. Then Gary's got 11. Thomas working it inside.
Well, and that's what Thomas needs to do is take it right at Zach, get him out of this basketball game, and it's going to happen because Steve has 3, and Scott's not going to. He's not going to want to leave Steve out there too long, where he's going to put him. If he does, he's going to put him on a more passive, to guard a more passive player. Definitely can't guard Thomas, or he's going to pick up that 4th foul at the rate Thomas's aggressive level is right now.
3rd foul on Steve Zach. Thomas with 8. Pressure by Central Dauphin, and Thomas got the ball and has 2 more. Schnars Almost a good run. Here's Seefeld, kicked it back out. Lavia. Central Dauphin has pumped. They've cut into the lead. 34. 35-24 Redland.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Coach Crozier wanted from his team.
Third quarter, timeout. 5:57 left, third quarter.
Having been to Arlington Orthopedics several times over the past roughly 15 years, I have found them to be very caring.
For 15 or 20 years, I've dealt with sciatic nerve pain down both legs. Kind of figured I was going to have that all my life.
Because of crippling arthritis, I no longer could hold on to things.
We went through this disc fusion surgery. It's just changed my whole life.
The pain is virtually gone, and he fully expects me to return to 100%.
Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
All right, Mark Hall listening in to the benches. Mark.
Well, Greg, Coach Crozier is talking about continuing the pressure of the Redland team. They think that they've speeded the game up. They can continue to create turnovers. We'll see how it plays out. Let's send it back to you.
And Central Dauphin starts the second half on a 10-2 run.
Well, and Redland's Scott Slayton's bringing Steve Zach up on the front end of the press, make it easier to throw over and break this press. But that is exactly what CD needed to get back in this game. And we got a game here, Greg. We got a game on our hands.
33-14 at the half, make it 35-24 now on that 10-2 run by the Rams. Antonelli stops the momentum.
Now Dominic hasn't gotten going yet, and that's one guy you don't want to get going because he plays like a sophomore at this point, not a freshman with confidence from the three-point line.
Lavia for three.
Well, those last two threes by Brandon Lavia have been from, he could have been in the halftime shootout. He could have won the Fulton Bank Visa gift card, Greg, because they were way out there.
He's got 8. Trying to match him was Antonelli. They got the basketball back.
Redland's trying to keep the air out of the ball here as much as they can.
Zach missed inside.
That was a nice move, nice pivot, just didn't finish. Devin Thomas again doing a good job of staying out of foul trouble and making it tough on Steve Zach.
Patriots clear and run.
Now Antonelli missed the Mike Zingari wide open under the basket on the fast break. Could have been an easy deuce there for Redland.
Low to Thomas. Another 3 for Lavia, and the lead is 8.
This is Griffin Spanago-like here, Greg, from Hershey. Man, Brandon Lavia is just feeling it. He's quarterbacking this basketball team like he quarterbacks a football team.
They have outscored Redland 16-5 here in the third quarter.
Coach Slayton just telling the guys, just relax, keep breaking the press, because this is certainly going to die off a little here. It might not, though, because we haven't had a shot here lately of this CD student crowd, but they're going crazy back here. And these players are feeding off these students from Central Dauphin.
Zach turns and gets it. His first 2 points of the half, he's got 9.
Well, and he's been a stabilizer for them lately, and that was a big time post move heading to LaSalle. They're going to be happy with that at LaSalle. Playing in the Big Five, Greg, man, there's nothing like it.
The old days, Syracuse played him at the Palestra all the time. What a great venue. A foul underneath. Goes against Duke Antonelli. Redland got the possession. Coming up on 3 minutes.
Duke and Dominic's father, I believe, played at St. John's, Greg. Believes in strength training. These kids spend a lot of time in the weight room. Does a lot of good things with the kids as far as working on their bodies. And you can see when you look at Duke, just the arms. And he's back another year. That's a guy that Coach Slayton's excited about to go along with Zingari for their senior years next year. Redland stays strong every year. They seem to always reload, or, you know, they went from Jermaine Marshall to two Division I big guys. What a luxury.
Off balance. Mike Zengari got fouled. I want to mention Artie Rowley. He's on the bench right now. He's number 33 for Central Dauphin. They honored, Artie raised $10,000 as part of his senior project, helped tackle breast cancer for his grandmother. The Dauphin County Commissioners today named this Artie Rowley Day. And we're going to show that on Channel 12. There he is on the bench. We're going to show that on ABC 27 News tonight at 11 o'clock. What a wonderful project. He's going to Pitt for football.
Well, and what, I mean, that's a testament to the kind of kid he is, but that's also should be motivation for other student athletes to get out there and support such a great cause. Greg, while we were talking, Devin Thomas just picked up his third foul. And it's interesting, Coach Crozier is going to stay with him because I think he knows at this point this could be ball game if he takes him out. At this point, Devin's going to have to play smart and utilize his athletic skills to stay out of foul trouble.
Lead back to 12 after a good run by the Rams. Coming up on 2 minutes of the third.
CD doesn't have the same luxury that Redland does. Steve Zach's sitting out right now. And then you got Mike Zingari at 6'9", still on the court. If Devin Thomas goes out, you know, you're looking at 6'2", and that's it.
Saw the Central Dauphin fans. They're all in white. Some of the Red Sea is here tonight. Over on the right side across the court. Thomas. Esau.
Niederreiter with the rebound. I said that on purpose, Greg. I wanted to demonstrate that I can pronounce Niederreiter's name.
First name is Brett.
Good defense by Laird. And Seafelt, the trap in the corner.
Seafelt, got it.
That's a nice pull-up shot by Nick.
Nick Seafelt's got 4. Lead back to 10.
I was talking to Devin Thomas before the game. He has a lot of respect for Nick and had a lot of good things to say about him as the floor leader for Central Dauphin. These guys have been playing together for a while.
A little reach in there by Laird. Hear the crowd right behind us. They're right on top of us. This reminds me of doing games at St. Bonaventure. You're right in the stands, and at least back in the old days, at the Palestra. Great atmosphere here tonight.
Well, in Central Dauphin, they do not want to give Redland foul shots here as you go into the fourth quarter. So they need to play good defense without reaching and fouling because the pressure is going to be what's to their advantage to try to get back in this game.
There's Zengari.
Now that's the match. Now that's the mismatch on the court size-wise, and Redland keeps taking advantage of it.
Seafelt almost got his own rebound. We'll go back to Redland. You know what you're hearing? You're hearing specific chants from the crowd here next to us. There we are. See, that's where we are, right over there. That's the kids are on TV. Under a minute left, third quarter. Right around Antonelli. Lavia got the board. Coming up on 30 left in the third. Thomas inside. Antonelli went off his knee. Rams get it back.
That's a good call by Joe Spangler to pick up on that. But credit Dominic Antonelli, just round his back, slash into the basket, trying to make something happen there. It looked pretty cool. What a lot of confidence for a freshman.
Under 30 left. Been a good run for Redland here.
The Patriot News has done away, I believe, with that all-underclassmen team, going to just that big 15. But if there was an all-underclassmen team, I think Dominic Antonelli would be on that, Greg.
Laird.
Now CD continues to show some life here. Got 6 seconds. Diller recognizes it. Let's see what he gets out of it.
Through the paint, through traffic at the buzzer. Big bucket. Nick Diller, he's got 13. It's a 46-35 lead as we go to the fourth for Redland. You're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27, presented by Arlington Orthopedics.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it was just...
Greg Mace, Charlie Fortley. Let's check in over with Mark Hall on the sideline. Mark?
Well, Greg, obviously Central Dauphin had his 16-5 run to get back into the ball game, but Scott Slayton, the Redland coach, told his team, look, be patient. They're still in the lead, and work the ball around and utilize their strength down low. Let's send it back to you.
From the outside, Lavia.
That was a great rebound by Diller to pull that ball out of Thomas's hand. Niederreiter with the pass to Antonelli. Still going with Zach on the bench. Trying to preserve him for this end run here for Redland.
Antonelli going to kick it back out. Oops, little roughness there. It goes to the outside for three. Antonelli.
Looked like his foot was on line, but could be wrong, but they gave it to him for sure.
He's got 9. Lead back to 14. Lavia's been hot. Didn't get the roll.
Looks like CD's a little too comfortable settling for the 3 right now. This is what they need to do. They need to work the big guy. Devin Thomas can take him as far as they want to go. He just needs the ball in his hands.
Thomas, with 10 so far, can cut into the Redland lead.
This is where CD could capitalize on the foul line and try to narrow this lead, get back in it.
And he does. He's got 11.
Shooter's touch.
Well, if you're interested in year-round programs, coaches' clinics, private lessons, Charlie Fortney and his crew have great programs at Advanced Hoops. 657-2620 or advancedhoops.com. Good time of the year for you.
Well, the big time for AAU tryouts, also spring games coming up. We're excited. I mean, last year we had 450 kids in the program. We look to have probably close to 600 this year, and we're just excited of the kids and the teachability of the kids that sign up for our program.
Have a special presentation. If you want to learn more about advanced hoops, hang around after the game, and we'll be showing that to you here on ABC 27. Inside, nice move by Antonelli.
Redlands staying patient. They're withstanding all the runs from CD. They're getting those good high percentage shots by moving the ball.
Thomas got it back. Tried to kick it out. Diller. Oh, that would be goaltending.
I tell you what, Diller is you know, I know we talk about, you know, the player of the game, and you know, we're going to have our Huffman Ford player of the game soon, but you know, Diller's a guy that's popping in my mind right now, Greg, as a guy who's leading his team. He's not only getting points, he's getting rebounds, he's making key steals. He's taking that momentum from hitting that game-winning shot against Cedar Cliff the other night. He's taking it right into this game against Central Dauphin. He's definitely my pick for the Huffman Ford player of the game. Any thoughts from your end?
Yeah, he's got 15, and I would agree with you. You know, Zengari has 15. He's played a great game as well, but Diller has sparked this team in a lot of different ways. At the free throw line, offensively and defensively. Nice move inside, Lavia.
Yeah, Mike, I know, wants to be player of the game. He was like, man, I've been doing this 4 times. I haven't been player of the game yet. I talked to him last week. But Nick is a senior, so we tend to favor seniors when it's a tie. And right now, well, we'll see how the rest of this game plays out.
Little scoop move goes by Ryan Beaver. And Redland wants to talk it over. 5:33 left in the fourth. Redland's up 53-41.
Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Greg Mace, Charlie Fortney, Mark Hall, 5:34 left. Closest CD's been was at the 4:03 mark of the third quarter when it was 38-30, and they just keep kind of eating into the lead, and now Central Dauphin wants a quick timeout, so we're going to keep it right here. And a reminder, as Charlie said, you can vote for your Hoffman Ford player of the game. You go to advancedhoops.com, you click on the TV icon, you can vote. We've been getting more and more votes every game, which is terrific that people want to log on and vote, and then you list who the actual player of the game was with the fan voting, you know, a couple days after.
Well, I was amazed today when I was telling you, you know, we've had over 700 hits on the website just during the actual game at times. And tonight, though, you know, there's a lot of options. We actually need the fans, though, to help us pick this, because between Zengari and Diller, they're both having big games, 15 apiece for Redland. And then you got Devin Thomas being an equalizer here for CD. You got Brandon Lavia hitting 3 big threes to even will them back in. So there's a lot of possibilities here, and you got 5 minutes, 34 seconds to go to make this decision, Greg. But we need the fans at home to jump off the couch, get on the computer, and help us make this decision.
Well, they could be on the laptop and sitting on the couch, you know.
That's true.
You're on your iPad, you know. There's all kinds of new technical ways that us older folks are getting used to. Antonelli with 2 more. Here's Thomas inside, spins, and drew the foul from Zach.
Well, Steve didn't like that, but Steve's not afraid. Steve Zach's not afraid to express when he doesn't like something, but that looks like that's going to be Steve Zach's 4th foul. It's going to be interesting to see if Scott Slayton allows him in. Now, Slayton wasn't happy with that because Thomas was fading out of bounds, and he didn't think that was a legitimate opportunity to score. But nonetheless, Thomas is playing aggressive, and he's doing what he needs to do to try to get his team back in the game.
That's his 4th foul, as we said, and Thomas hits. He's got 13. Nice dish. Oh, Zach couldn't get it to fall, and Thomas got the rebound.
Great hands by Devin Thomas to save the ball and find his teammate.
Ryan Beaver.
Ryan Beaver, we saw him doing this in the JV game.
A little off balance there by Diller. Got shoved on the way back in.
Redlands playing into the hands right now of CD. CD wants them to take quick shots, and they are.
Reminder, Charlie and I will be back Thursday from Cumberland Valley. We have both the girls and boys Mid-Penn Championships, 6:30 p.m. right here on ABC 27.3, and we're looking forward to doing those live.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be exciting because this year only the top team from the Commonwealth, Keystone, Capital, and Colonial go. There's no more 8-team tournaments, a 14 bracket, and there's some really good teams. They're going to be squaring off Harrisburg, and you got Cedar Cliff, and then naturally Trinity has a shot at 17-2 to beat any of these teams.
Girls matchup this Tuesday's Trinity, Cedar Cliff, Greencastle against Harrisburg, and the winners will meet in the girls' finals. That's our first game. Beaver again.
Those are 2 big shots by Ryan Beaver. A lot of confidence for an underclassman. Nice steal by Beaver, wow. And here's Lavia. Wow, that's his 4th 3.
57-51, 4:19 left. We'll take a break. You're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27, presented by Arlington Orthopedics.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
Well, we've talked about the Red Sea, but here's the Central Dauphin Rams cheering section, and these kids were out in force early.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Lavia, Ryan Beaver, they're feeding off this crowd right now. Redland's going to have to come out. They're going to have to get, they can't hold the ball. They're going to have to score and stay aggressive, because at the rate CD is scoring, you know, they're going to get this lead before you know it. So they're going to need a big game from Diller here at the point to end this game.
How about CD 8 of 14 for their threes in this game? The lead is down to 6. Zach inside. Antonelli lighting it up.
That was a big 3 by Duke Antonelli. They had patience on that possession and confidence to nail that shot.
Thomas inside, almost got the roll. Well, Diller and Antonelli and Zangari have had all outstanding games. Diller has 17, Antonelli has 16, Zangari has 15.
And
Zach's got 9, yeah.
Antonelli's quietly becoming a consideration for, you know, especially with that big 3 right there. Because when you talk about a most valuable player game, you got to talk about what won the game for you. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shapes up.
Diller waited. Patience.
Oh, and that's the Devin Thomas effect there, because Diller was nervous the shot was going to get blocked there and pulled up, and same effect Steve Zach has on people with that long wingspan.
Beaver. Rebound, and a foul goes against Central Dauphin.
Well, this Ram section here, student section, doesn't like it. Looked like a clean takeaway. At least that's what they felt at this point. You know, Greg, we talked a lot about it before the game. Steve Zach's been playing at such a high level with a lot of emotion that he needed a pick-me-up from his teammates. With being in foul trouble now, he's not producing offensively. A couple key buckets, but he's definitely getting a pick-me-up from Antonelli, Zach, and Diller tonight, from all three having more than 15 points.
3 minutes left, fourth quarter.
The Redlands extending that hand out, not allowing for the open threes.
Thomas inside. Couldn't get it to roll, and Zach got the rebound.
Yeah, and with Steve Zach, I mean, you don't see kids in high school basketball that big. You miss that first shot, you're not getting a second one. Oh, man.
Thomas got the board.
Well, that looked good, too, for Antonelli. He just rolled in and out. Fortunately for CD, they still got some life here. We're right under 3.
Seafeld.
Wow.
Nick
That was a big shot for Nick.
He's got 6, cuts the lead to 8.
That makes it a 3-possession game at this point.
Cut it to 7, I should say, but they go back to 9 on the Antonelli shot.
Well, if you could add Dominic and Duke's points together, you could give the family MVP. That's an idea. CD cooling off a little here.
2 minutes of play in regulation, 2 minutes.
Redland will be patient. Didn't pay off. There's the steal. Seafeld.
That was a good take by Nick Seafield. Diller tried to take the charge, just a little late on setting his feet. That was a good call by Joe Rambo. Rambo. Now we got to get the pronunciations right before our referee.
Nick taking it.
Yeah, he leaned in just a little there. When to get that charge, you got to stay solid. Have those feet set ahead of time.
He's got 7.
I'll tell you what, CD's really made this a fun game to watch here in the second half. You know, whether they go on to win this or not, they certainly made this a game, not a disappointing high school basketball live game at all. They showed what kind of ability they really have and why they are just a close second in that mid-pen race.
Seafeld's got 8. The lead is 7. 1:44 left.
Diller telling his team to clear out. He'd rather have the ball in his hands without any double teams off the screens. Wants to keep the ball keep it patient, and then pass over the double teams.
Thomas almost got it away. Got a foul. So 7-point lead. Send them to the line. Dominic Antonelli, just a freshman. You know, we talked about this before. He sure doesn't play like a freshman.
No, he doesn't. And, you know, when you've played 20-some games already, you're a sophomore. He definitely plays with a lot of confidence. It won't be long before his brother and father get him in the weight room and get his body built up. But I'll tell you what, Nick Diller has done a good job, not just scoring tonight, but breaking this press and making good decisions, leading his team. Great senior leadership here tonight from Nick. I can't pull the trigger on player of the game yet, though.
Oh, Redland is 13 of 15 from the line. Nick Laird for 3.
Wow, CD, we talked about at the beginning of the game, man, they got some firepower here, and they're showing it.
1:08 left. Coming up tonight on ABC 27 News at 11, we'll have highlights of this game, and we'll have Hershey Bears highlights from Manchester, New Hampshire, and we go one-on-one with Phillies veteran Raul Ibanez, who's in Lancaster training, getting set for the upcoming baseball season. He was at B2 be baseball academy down there, so we'll talk to Ibanez and have all the Lancaster, a lot of Lancaster Lebanon games tonight that'll play a factor in the District 3, so we'll have all that for you coming up tonight at 11 o'clock with Josh Reed. And a reminder, Charlie's got year-round programs, coaches clinics, private lessons. Want to give your youngster an edge in basketball? It's advancedhoops.com, 657-2620.
Greg, I'll tell you, I mean, this is probably the first high school basketball live game we've done all year where we still can't make a decision with 1:09 to go who the Huffman Ford player of the game is. I mean, you know, a play at the end of the game here could decide it. You got, you know, Diller with 17. You got Antonelli with 16. And then you got Zingari with 15. I mean, a big three could give it to Antonelli. You know, foul shots could give it to Diller or a three. It's going to be interesting to see. And on the CD side, let's see who steps up for them.
All right, Mark Hall, what you heard on the sideline?
Of getting pressure and trying to get steals, and if you don't get the steal, then foul immediately. Let's see what happens.
Big three. Boy, Lavia's been hot. Another steal. Redland coming away with it.
Well, that's 5 threes.
64-61. 64-61 Redland. And now they'll go back to the line.
Greg, that's 5 threes for Brandon Lavia this half.
He's got 19.
I mean, he's making a strong case here for MVP. Just giving his team a chance in this second half. Naturally, he's had some help from Ryan Beaver, Nick Leard, Seafelt, Devin Thomas. But definitely he's been the factor for CD.
2 big free throws by Antonelli, still now a 2-possession game. Schnars. Couldn't get it to go.
Wow, boy, I'll tell you what, there was electricity with these students here. If that shot would have went in, this place would have erupted.
Jake Crozier right there, the Central Dauphin coach. They have made a great game out of this after trailing 33-14 at the half. They're back to within 5.
Oh, and here's Nick Diller drawing a foul. Again, we talk about big plays to end the game. You know, Greg, I'm leaning toward Diller here as a senior leader. The way he played this basketball game, the way he's steadying his team and not panicking here at the end of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's the free throw. He's got 18.
What's amazing here is, you know, it's 67-61, 41 seconds to go, and you're like, okay, what's CD going to do next? You know, this is not a done deal by any stretch.
Laird got the rebound. Graham's got to put it up.
Well, that makes it a 2-possession game, that missed foul shot.
Seafeld. And now they'll have to get a quick foul, but look at Zach. Yeah, put it away. Steve Zach with a jam.
Well, that was definitely a big jam for Steve Zach. A big couple steps there, too, to get to dunk the basketball. Those are long steps for a big guy.
Thomas.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm now safely going to say that my Huffman Ford player of the game is Nick Diller for Redland. What are you thinking there, Greg?
No, I agree with you. 69-63. Nick Diller's been so effective from the free throw line. 7.9 seconds left in this game. He has 18 points. And
how about Brandon Lavia's 5 threes leading this barrage of threes by Central Dauphin, who has, man, wow, 8, 9 3-point shots just in the second half. I mean, I played college. In college, we had 15, and that was a school record when I was at North Carolina Greensboro. So, I mean, that's no slouch to have that many threes in one half for Central Dauphin. Coach Crozier has to be happy with the second half, because right now it's all about momentum. how you go into the playoffs, how you end the regular season, and by ending playing well, winning this half by, double digits after being down 17 at halftime, actually 19 at halftime. This is in a sense a win for CD and a win for Redland by the way this game went in the second half.
Down court, Antonelli is fouled. So Duke Antonelli will go to the line. Antonelli has 16 points, and he's got 17. Great balance scoring. The four big guns, I mean, you get to look at their 5 starters there. A lot of balance. And Seefeld gets one last shot, and that will do it. Good finish, though. Redland wins 70-63. Mark will be back with the coach and our player of the game. After this, you're watching high school basketball live on ABC 27, presented by Arlington Orthopedics.
To be sure. Faulkner Toyota on Paxton Street across from the Harrisburg Mall invites you to check out our extensive assortment of new and used vehicles. Consider the excitement of driving the RAV4 or the functionality of our top-rated Sienna minivan. Test drive the super fuel-efficient Prius hybrid along with our Camrys, Corollas, Tacoma pickups, as well as a full selection of Scions. You'll find security, design, comfort, and a price that will fit your own lifestyle. Call or visit us at faulknertoyota.net.
What game will you bring? Your B game or C? Tomorrow's performance depends on today's recovery, rebuild, recharge, reclaim your A game, regen, intelligent recovery.
Fortney Construction is on the move, building additions, renovations, and Pella certified for window and door replacements with a quality of work that the customer can count on. Call today. Ask about solar and energy solutions, as well as our solar module installation. You can save money on electric, and the electric company will send you cash for the solar energy your panels generate.
Integrity, reliability, and experience is what Fortney Construction's all about, and it's a great name.
At Lou Panetti, Rogliano, and Hockenberry Family Dentistry, you will receive patient care with a smile, along with comprehensive dental treatment and technologically advanced equipment to meet all your family needs.
I think what you'll find here, if you look around the office, is a very, very comfortable atmosphere.
The quality of care that the doctors give to our patients is absolutely phenomenal.
Our service provides a gentle approach from doctors who care.
Back live at Central Dauphin High School, where Redland comes away with a 70-63 victory. Mark Hall standing by with our player of the game and the winning coach. Mark.
Well, Greg, we're here with Coach Slayton. Coach, a game of two halves. You guys were big in the first half and you had separation, but Central Dauphin came back in the second half. What was going through your mind when they were making their run?
It's not anything we didn't expect. I mean, they take too much pride in their program. They're too well coached, and their kids play too hard. We knew they were going to make a run. It's a matter of us being able to try to stifle that as quickly as possible. And they never went away. They made a run at us early in the second half. We kind of separated ourselves again. They came right back at. Hats off to them. They shot the lights out.
Well, last week against Hershey, towards the end, you guys didn't hit your free throws and you didn't make your shots. Tonight, a totally different story, Coach.
Yeah, we understand. We got to end games well. You know, our theme going into this was to end quarters, to end games, to end our season strong, and I thought we did that very well tonight.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nick Diller is with us now. Nick, 18 big points, and your team really needed him, especially in the second half. What was going through your mind when Central Dauphin was making their run?
I mean, they made a lot of tough shots in the second half. They were hitting the open shots, and Coach just kept reassuring us that we just need to keep battling, keep fighting, and I mean, we always had an answer. Duke hit some big shots. Steve came up big on the inside, and I made a couple nice drives. So it always seemed like we had an answer for us.
Nick, you guys had a big emotional win against Cedar Cliff. Did you have any concerns that maybe you guys would come in with a letdown? What did you guys talk about before this game to make sure that didn't happen?
Coach Lane kept making us care about this game, because we could have easily came in here after that emotional win, like, wow, we just had a crazy win on Monday and take it easy. But we knew if we took it easy this game that Central Dauphin was going to come out here and embarrass us in their home court. So we made it a point to come out hard and not give up.
Nick, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, Greg, obviously Redland played very good today. They earned the win. They deserve the win. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Mark, 70-63. Charlie and I will be back with a final word after this.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it was just a beautiful thing.
Greg Mays, Charlie Forting back at Central Dauphin High School. I think both teams got a lot out of this game. Of course, they're both playing for playoff position, but great run by Central Dauphin. Big win for the Redland Patriots, but as we said, I think they both got something out of this game tonight.
Well, absolutely. The second half for CD was much better, and in a sense, it's a win for CD to end on a note like that. I mean, hitting 9 3-pointers in a half is not common on any level. Behind Brandon Levia's 5-3, has got to give him some credit on that. But and Redland held serve with the momentum they need to have going into playoffs. So, in a sense, a win for both teams.
I was looking at the stats here from Jim Gallagher. Now, as Central Dauphin, they took 65 shots. They were 10 of 22 with the threes, 12 of 43 from the two-point line. And Levia really did a great job of getting them back in the game with those threes.
Absolutely. He's quarterback on the football field. He was a quarterback on the court tonight. Devin Thomas had a very good game as well, considering what he was up against. Couldn't get some of those balls to fall, but he had to go up against 2 twin towers and didn't have a lot of size help in that category.
You know, both these teams now get 2 weeks off, and they'll try to scrimmage a little bit and keep their edge. That's a long break in the high school basketball season. You don't get that break except coming out of the preseason.
Oh, it's a hard call for coaches. Sometimes they'll set up scrimmages and things, but then you don't want kids to get injured. But they'll definitely have some harder practices, maybe get back in the weight room a little to replenish the muscles, eat good. But the bottom line is the kids have been playing a long time. They could use the rest a little bit as well.
All right, our next game coming up, we have a doubleheader coming up a week from tomorrow. It is the Mid-Penn Championships. Charlie and I will be at Cumberland Valley High School. You'll see both the girls and boys, 6:30 p.m. right here on ABC 27.3. Now for our entire Invicta sports crew and everybody at ABC 27, our director Chad Edwards, and for Mark Hall, Charlie Fortin, and Greg Mace saying goodnight from Central Dauphin High School. Redland a 70-63 winner over the Central Dauphin Rams. Now stay tuned for a special presentation of Advanced Hoops. Good night from Central Dauphin.
Like the crack of the whip, or snap or sack, twist your back in this thing called rap. Singing like a silver rhyme devil on a heavenly level. Bang the bass, turn up the treble. Radical mind day and night all the time. 714, wise, divine. Maniac, brainiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse J. It's getting kinda hectic. It's getting kinda hectic. Quality, I possess something I fresh. Where my voice goes through the rest of the microphone. That I am holding. Copywritten lyrics so they can't be stolen if they all snap. Don't need the police to try to save them. Your voice will sing. So please, stay off my back, or I will attack, and you don't want that.
AAU spring basketball with advanced hoops. 21 teams last year, featuring the top boys basketball players from all over the region. Advanced Hoops AAU features 10 to 11 player rosters, guarantees playing time, all man-to-man style play, and every player gets professional skill training along with top quality AAU tournaments. Advanced Hoops has helped over 25 high school athletes get scholarships over the last 2 years. Amazing results. I call this AAU with the follow-through.
When you do miking, it's the same as a regular shot. The ball rolls off those two fingers. Some of you are twist spinning, and look what happens when it hits the bank board. It doesn't go in. So you got to be square shoulders, square your body, and then quickly shuffle your feet, square back up, keep alternating, square back up. That's the miking drill. George Mikan designed it that way. Let's go. These are called X-outs and one dribble drives. You do them at camp every day. Keep that ball in the left hand on the left side. Push the ball out, explode up. And take your time going to the right elbow, turn, pick the ball up, explode, jump up, okay? Get to the left elbow, left hand, explode, jump up. It's important not to jump at the bat or at the wall, but get low and jump up. Jab into that shooting position. We're gonna go right, but as soon as you jab into the shooting position, freeze the guy left, long step, 2 dribbles, jump up, okay? 1 dribble's okay. Some of you guards, you're gonna be in traffic, so keeping it out in front, 2 dribbles allows you to change directions easier. Going left, same thing, spin it out, catch, face. Now that we're going left, we freeze right, rake through, push it out, 2 dribbles, layup, okay? Now, if you go to the basket and the defender's here, come here, Keith. If you swipe the ball under your knees like this and step through, he never has a chance to steal the basketball because he's got to go in between you to get the ball. Ready? Go. Play deep. See? Now you can cut back in front for the layup.
Charlie's Advanced Hoops program has really helped me with my guard-oriented skills and made me more recruitable by colleges.
I'm Taylor Groff. I'll be a senior next year at Lampeter Strasburg High School. For me, Advanced Hoops has been a great thing over the years. I've been with Charlie since I was in 9th grade. The advantages of it are I've had a chance to come if I ever have a problem with my shot, and he'll always have good words of wisdom and help me fix my shot and get it back on track. Also, it's been a great opportunity to play against different competition since Lampeter's pretty far away from here. And also, Charlie's also had great advice always on college things. If I ever have a question, I can always call him up or come visit him, and he always has great advice on how to handle different recruiting problems and things like that.
My son is, he's a senior at Stilton High Spire, has been working with Charlie and advanced training for 3 years or so. With Charlie's help, Ryan has become a better ball player, offensively and defensively. The things that he can do, Charlie has enhanced, and the things that he didn't do well, Charlie has made sure that he's aware of it and does a better job at getting better.
My experiences as a Division I college basketball player and even my time in the professional and semi-professional ranks has allowed me to train players to reach their potential. I always tell the guys there's no limit to where I can take them as long as they're willing to put the time in. It doesn't matter that you practice for 3 or 4 hours. It's more important that you practice for an hour or an hour and a half on things that will make your game better. It's important to work on weaknesses until they become strengths. AAU spring basketball with Advanced Hoops. 21 teams last year, featuring the top boys basketball players from all over the region. Advanced Hoops AAU features 10 to 11 player rosters, guarantees playing time, all man-to-man style play, and every player gets professional skill training along with top quality AAU tournaments. Advanced Hoops has helped over 25 high school athletes get scholarships over the last 2 years. Amazing results. I call this AAU with the follow-through. We would like to welcome you to Advanced Hoops.
My daughter's first time through. It's actually her second camp, but I've coached for 25 years, seen a lot of individual camps, team camps, clinics, things like that. This is the best that I've seen. The staff is very positive, very flexible in scheduling, things like that, and we've seen a lot of real individual improvement over the last summer just being a part of this.
AAU spring basketball with Advanced Hoops. 21 teams last year, featuring the top boys basketball players from all over the region. Advanced Hoops AAU features 10 to 11 player rosters, guarantees playing time, all man-to-man style play, and every player gets professional skill training along with top quality AAU tournaments. Advanced Hoops has helped over 25 high school athletes get scholarships over the last 2 years. Amazing results. I call this AAU with the follow-through.